Hey, we're here with Oscar Enriquez, the owner and promoter of UWF MMA. First off, Oscar, thank you so much for the interview.
Sure.
Over the past couple of weeks, we've had some big news coming from your side. You guys have teamed up with Bellator, and you guys are having an event, I believe, next month on March 23rd. Can you talk a little bit about how that got started?
Well, that got started about 3 weeks ago. I got a call from the main production guy. Obviously, everybody knows that War Machine got signed up right after the Huerta fight, and he did real good. He had already gotten a contract from them. What tilted it over his performance, because no one knew how he was going to, react after, his year-long in jail and getting out, and he did great. I mean, you guys were there, you saw it, and well, I get a call because the only picture, he fought for me right after he got out of jail, so there wasn't really pictures out there, and they were really promoting his fight up in Connecticut at the Mohican in Connecticut. So they called me and asked me, hey, would you, the pictures are out there, you have, the rights to them, would you help us out? We need them. I said, sure, absolutely. I never burned the bridge, and all the hoopla that happened during my first event, it was a business deal. My whole thing, they said that Roger was under contract and still under contract, and when Roger, reappeared after a year and a half and he was going to fight for me, well, they came in and said, no, he's under contract. And both sides had valid points, but the long story short is that things can take a long time in the court process, years. And Roger made a conscious decision to say, well, you know what, I want out. So, I paid them to release him out of his contract, but it was Roger's money that he was going to get to fight in my event. So I paid them off, and I never got upset with them. I looked at their side, and you're going to understand. You're talking about Bellator. If everybody did what Roger did, and then they would have chaos. So as a business standpoint, and me being a promoter, I would have done the same thing. Absolutely done the same thing. So I kept that line of communication on, and well, I give them the pictures, give them everything. I get a call the next day thanking me they had gotten it, and saying, hey, you know what, we owe you, what are you doing, what can we help? And then I told them, I said, look, I got my event March 17th, and really trying to see if we could do like a farm program. Maybe, the winners maybe could go, fight with you guys or something. I really want to work with you guys in South Texas and stuff like that. And he said, well, you know what? As we're talking, I'm emailing the person that gave me your number, and you know what? You write her an email and you tell her what you're asking. And I did that. I did it Monday. This happened Thursday when he called me. Friday he told me that. Monday I sent the email, and by Tuesday, that Monday, I got a response back real quick, and they said, you know what? We're actually looking for a promoter, local promoter, and we want the South Texas to kick off our semi-finals, quarterfinals of Bellator 62, and we want to do it in Texas. Are you interested? And I said, hell yeah, absolutely. So we talked for about 3 days, hammered out a deal, and we signed it on that Friday. And it took us about 3 days, and I worked with Bjorn's a great guy, and we hammered it out, and now I'm their partner. Bellator, March 23rd in Laredo, and it's just, Laredo is one of these frontiers that there's such a big MMA people there. The thing is, they don't have any outlet. I mean, they watch the UFC, they watch Bellator, but no one's ever really done an event. They've done some local stuff, but nothing in the magnitude of that. Well, we're talking live, that we're going to be on MTV2 live, around the world, not just, a certain market. No, it's MTV2 live. That's where they show their shows. So, they're going to come in the day before, descend, huge bells and whistles. I mean, it's going to be one of the biggest events that Laredo's ever had. And I tell you what, they rolled out the red carpet. The city commission, the mayor was there at the press conference. I did the press conference because Bjorn couldn't make it, and it was great, man. It was great. It was great. And then we got local fighters too.
So I remember talking to you in conversations we've had in the past. You've always been a fan of Bellator. You've even gone to some of their events in Philadelphia and whatnot. What type of sentiments do you get to be working with a promotion that you were initially a fan of?
Just the tournament style. I've been really looking at the way they do it, and I think it allows a fighter, the way they do it, it allows a fighter to be to have his destiny in his hand, because it's a tournament style. So single elimination, just like football. You know, you get to the playoffs. You lose, you're out. Okay. You win, you keep going until you get to the finals, and then you have a chance to win $100,000. I mean, this is big. That's big. So, you know, guys that, you know, want to continue that fight like that, it's to me, it's one of the best opportunities, and I like the system that they have. But yeah, it's going to be good, man. It's going to be good.
Bellator is widely considered the #2 MMA company in the world, behind Zuffa, of course. And in this Bellator event, we're going to have a lot of local guys from the Rio Grande Valley that are going to be fighting in the undercards of that one. How did that come about, and who are the guys that are going to be representing the Valley?
That came about during my contract negotiation with them, that I wanted local fighters, because that's one of the things that, you know, I did in my first event, getting some local guys. I got criticized because I didn't have enough local fighters, but you know, lately it's been kind of tough because some Valley fighters are not being coached and managed right, and you know, I literally went to a couple places and you know, gave people opportunity and they turned it down. The thing with me was to try to show people that we have the talent too, and the Valley. This is where I'm from. You know, I'm gonna take as much as I can, so I can bring people here together, Valley fighters, so they have a forum, not just here locally, but to get out and to fight elsewhere. You know, just like Roger Huerta. You know, he was from Pharr, he took off to Austin, and then he was fighting for UFC. Well, he's not just the only guy. There's plenty of guys down here. And the local guys that are coming is DJ Fuentes. That guy has, you know, put in his time, and I gave him the opportunity to come to Bellator, and he's fighting one of the best fighters, Chris Lionheart Jones, and that's going to be a spectacular. I mean, there's a lot of people saying that my fights are just going to be just as good as the main event and in the tournament, because you got him, and then I got Joseph Daly fighting against Sean Spencer, which is very widely known that he's real close to going to UFC and Bellator. If he does impressive, I've seen the letter that they're asking him, hey, maybe you need to come join us.
And this is Joseph Daly from
This is Joseph Daly from Weslaco. That's absolutely correct. And Joseph right now he's prime. He's a good kid. And he's at Greg Jackson's camp right now as we speak. And you know, he's taking it seriously. So we got him. We got Elias Marks out of Brownsville. You know, we had a guy from Edinburgh, Weslaco, and Brownsville. Elias is actually fighting a rematch that he fought a couple years ago, and he lost. And some people say he lost because Sonny Luca was hometown of Laredo, and the judges gave it to him. But it went all the way. It was a decision. So that's widely known as it's going to be a pretty good grudge match, because these guys don't like each other, you know. So I got him, and then basically that's it for the Rio Grande Valley, those guys.
Another big news event that you held was when you announced that you were having a tournament of your own.
Yeah.
Can you talk to a little bit
Sure.
about that?
That's going to be May 4th at the American Bank Center in Corpus Christi. It's called Tournament of Warriors. We're going to find out who's going to be, you know, I'm giving a belt, and this is the thing, it's a tournament style. You got to win 3 fights, and the way it's going to work is the first fight's May 4th in Corpus Christi. We're going to kick it off, and then from there we go May 26th to Laredo, back to Laredo, and we're going to fight in the Laredo Energy Center, and then from there we're coming home to the finale in Hidalgo at the State Farm Arena. So it's 3 fights. If you get to the end you're fighting, we got 2 weight classes, 8 fighters of 170 and 8 fighters of 155. And they're each fighting for $25,000 cash in a briefcase. I'm going to give it to them at the end of the fight. It's not going to be a check. It's going to be actual cash in a suitcase that when they announce the winner, I'm going to be giving them a suitcase. You know, that's how the magnitude that this is. So right now you got to apply. You got to go to our website, UWFMMA.com, and click on the tournament, and then it goes into fighter applications. Fighters do have to apply and send a resume, and we're cutting off the date March 16. Right now we got about 16 applicants. We're already, and I haven't even checked it for the last 2 days, but late Friday I had 15, and then I saw another one come in. So we're going to have some great guys, 16 of the elitist fighters, and most of them are going to be coming from Texas, so we're going to be showcasing that. So, and they're also fighting for the belt for UWF.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for the interview, and we look forward to these exciting events.
Yeah, absolutely. I want everybody to come out and support Laredo. We're talking about giving. There's going to be a couple party buses from here that are coming from McAllen, going to Laredo, and that should be coming up in the next week. We're just getting all the little stuff together, and it's going to be something like $75 a person, including a great ticket. You get to take your little ice chest, get in a bus, take off so you don't have to drive. You know, bus drives, and you know, party all the way up there and see a good fight and then come back. So we're doing a lot of things to have access so people can go and watch fights of that caliber. And I'm excited, and I'm excited for my tournament of warriors, and you're going to start seeing some good stuff. Also, we're doing a film. I'm doing a documentary. It's called Outside the Cage, about everything that I'm going through from the ground up, and we're going to start putting it on YouTube, on our website. And I hope, from talking to my media guy, that it should be up and running. We're going to do 5-minute clips here in the next week, coming up week, so you'll be able to see that. So there's a lot of stuff coming out of Ultimate Warrior Fighting.
Awesome. Well, let us know when those videos come out. We will definitely have them up, and thank you so much.
Yeah.